welcome to Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and we're here with another in a New York Beauty Minute. We are here with Block 4, and we've picked some fun fabrics today for our block, and we're staying with that green, purple, orange theme because I very rarely pull out my oranges and my purples lately, so we're going to do that today. But anyways, the PDF is going to be in our show notes below, so you gotta go grab that PDF. It is making a 12.5 inch unfinished block, 12-inch finish, so it's just going to be really big and gorgeous, and we're going to have lots of fun with this. Now, for our shout out today, we have Beth at My Sewing Room. Beth is always knocking it out of the park with me. I've been following her for quite a while now, and she's always making these beautiful quilts. I have no idea what she does with them, but she just absolutely has a blast over in her sewing room. So if you go and check her out, tell her that Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore sent you. We also, in our show notes, it's so important to get into the show notes, we have Zoom dates from now until December, 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, because I'm in Alberta, Canada. Also, Quilt Bingo will be starting here pretty quick, if not already underway, on Wednesdays, and that we have different levels like beginner, intermediate, and hard. And those are going to be, everybody's going to have a chance to learn their skill at their level and maybe try a skill at a higher level. So it's up to you what your quilt is going to look like. So it's going to be a lot of fun with that sew along. Also, we share, like, and subscribe, making comments. That all helps our analytics, all of it, and it helps keep our videos moving forward so that we can continue bringing you fun free patterns. My husband and I are just having a blast doing this, so we're having a lot of fun. We also have a Facebook group, and we do pretty much all the same things Facebook groups, and we have lots of community chats, but we host a virtual sewing room under Discord, but you have to be a Facebook member to be part of it. So yeah, we have so much fun in there. And like I say, if you're part of the Facebook community, you might as well come join us and get into a virtual sewing room. Also, I speak for free, and I talk about all sorts of different things about elements of design, working with scrap fabrics, making charity quilts. So if you want to get a hold of me, my under the About tab is my email address, or you can get a hold of me on my Facebook group, because like we're good with it. Also, shout outs. If you guys find a quilt related YouTuber, right, like he or she is making quilts, please send me that name and let me know, and I'll add them to my shout out list. Okay, so, and again, you know, send it through emails or send it through the Facebook group. I covered Quilt Bingo, we covered the Zoom sew dates. I think we're good. Come on in. Let's get to the sewing of the New York Beauty in a New York Beauty Minute, Block 4. Okay, so here we are at the sewing machine, and we've got all our pieces cut out, right? Like, and you can see here, I actually labeled with pens as to what color I want in where, right? So I've cut out all the other pieces, just the curved pieces. So we're going to work on this, and then I'm going to show you how to sew all the curves together. Now, yeah, it gets kind of crazy around here sometimes. So let's put all this up to the side and under the board so it doesn't get accidentally trimmed. Now, you're going to need fabric scissors, of course, to cut out your pieces, because they're just like, if you ever made clothes, right? Like, you're just cutting out clothes, and you're cutting right on where the outer edge of the seam allowance, right? So, you know, that's kind of a basic. Use paper scissors to get all the stuff out, or out of the pattern. I have some purple and greens that I'm going to use here. Of course, the crayons to mark all my, what color goes where, what color fabric goes where. And my palette for this is orange, green, and purple. And a 1/4 ruler is really handy. A tracing wheel helps you with being able to see the lines on the back, right? So it's easier to fold the paper then too, right? So this tracing wheel for me is just like very quick, very fast. And a rotary cutter. And yeah, now you'll notice on here, there are no lines. That are no numbers, right? There's no numbers. Because it doesn't matter if you start at this end and work this way, or this end and work that way, or start in the middle and work out, right? It's a symmetrical piece. You can't start at the end and then start somewhere here and then try and work together, because that ain't going to work. But yes, there's different ways of doing it. Now I've measured my pieces, right, to see how big I need them to be, and I cut them a little on the big side, so that's good, right? Now, what's important is we're going to show you how to do this by doing what I call a porcupine method, because it looks like there's some people here that just were having problems with doing the, doing it with, by doing curves and just feeding it in, right? So, I mean, that's important. If you're not comfortable doing things, let me know, and we will tell you how to do it a different way, because it's just because I know how to do it this way doesn't mean it's the only way, because there's several ways. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up this green here, right about there, and I want the green to go in first, so I'm just going to put a quick little pin in here, yeah, just to hold all that stuff in place. There. Now, okay, get it under. Now I'm just leaving these pieces really long and big, and you'll see why in a minute. Because it's just a quick thing. When I'm doing these, I would do a bunch of these at once, and then I would do, what do they call like a leader ender project. When I'm doing these, that's what my favorite way of doing these New York Beauties or any kind of like foundation paper piecing is I would have leader enders, because you save more thread. I'm going to pull my pen, and I'm just going to push this purple, just the purple, right into a nice sharp flat seam. And I'm just getting in there with my nail. Yes, I will iron it eventually, but not right this minute. So now I want to make sure I get lined up for the next green. So I'm just going to trim it, and you're just bending it just enough. Oops. And we have a little overlap here, so and you're just going to trim it with this on this side. Oops. Oh, and I missed it right there. Okay, just like that. Oops, hang on. What is this? Why are you doing this all of a sudden? Okay, so now I've got the purple piece that can go. And now I'm going to trim on the other side of the green. Okay, now it looks like I have lots over, but it's because it's a kind of almost a 60-degree triangle that's floating around here. That's why it looks so strange, but it will work. It will work. Okay, now I'm going to put purple on the other side, and yes, you've got lots left over. It's fine. It'll be fine. You are going to put, oops, I'm just going to trim, there's a little snag here. I'm just going to trim that snag off. I got snagged when I was cutting it. So now I'm just going to put this right here, because I know I will have good coverage, and I will flip it over and get all the tools I put in my way, because this table is too small. Yes, it is. Okay, then I'll move this like so. Okay, there. I've got all of that lined up. Yes, I do. Okay. Now, you hold it in place for a bit, just to ensure that you get, a lot of stitches in one area. It kind of creates a little bit of a knot right there. There. And another leader ender, of course, because we can just keep adding leader enders in for the rest of our lives. Okay, there. There we go. Now we're going to continue on this back and forth, so as long as we can. Now I'm just again going to just put this like so. Now I have a funny story to tell you. I cut my finger. I had put out a video for rotary cutter safety, and guys, I've been using a rotary cutter for a very long time, And this is the second time I cut myself badly. I didn't need stitches this time, and I didn't get a concussion this time, so I'm kind of relieved about that. But it's something worth looking at, you know. Now this is big enough piece that I would keep for my, you know, my scrap bin. Okay, let's get this out of the way, just like so. So I've got two pieces here. I'm going to go like this. There. I'll put one in, like just like that. And of course it gets jumbled up and hung up. And it's moved. Oh no. Guys, I've got this little tail here. Just irritating everything. Just let me get my strings in the right place. Okay, let's start this again. We always have too many tools hanging here, waiting for use. And then, of course, you've got this falling. Okay. Every once in a while, life happens this way. Okay. Yes, it's in the right spot. Okay. There we go. And I believe it's another leader ender. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I cut my finger quite badly again. Just right that very end tip. Ooh, does that sting. And it takes forever to heal. And of course, every time I turn a corner, I whack it. Because that's, you know, what everything has to do. You know, you gotta whack your sore finger. Of course, that's the one that's gonna get whacked. So I have been trying to get it healed up the best I can. I'm just gonna take that off because that's going to be very annoying. So there we go. Now we trim that green. So we get lined up for another purple. Okay, now we do the green on the other side. There. Believe it or not, the strip piecing works really well. I believe it was Karen Stone came out with this. Oh my god, I just like fell in love with these. These are so lovely, you know. And so many, they're so useful and so diverse and so just, they were enchanting. They're just fabulous. I thought this has got to be the best quilt block I've seen in like years, you know, but that's me. You know, doing something a little different, you know, other than the norm. I think it's really important. This is why we quilt, right? Sometimes, you know, it's just to get out of the rut of doing what everybody else is doing, you know. Yeah. There, and there we go. And with this, we're cutting it like this, right across the top, because it's oversized. That one we don't need, but we will get the purple ready. There we go. These are very doable. Even at a beginner level, they're doable. There. Now, we got both of these cut for purple, so now we pick up the purple again, and we start running around with this insane purple. This purple is so much fun. I thought, oh good grief, I'm going to have way too much fun with this. Yes, that'll be perfect right there. And it's got a bit of texture to it that's, you know, not in the rest of the... It's got other colors in it. I thought, oh, this will be nice. I'll get this out of my way so I can sew. There we go. Yeah. This is a good way of doing leader enders too. You know? Okay. I think we're going to run a little long doing this. So maybe what I'll do is I'll do one more purple on this side, and then we'll cut. I'll sew the rest of this off camera, then we'll get to the curves, because I think it's the curves. If you've done any kind of foundation paper piecing before, this part is not where you're going to struggle. Where you're going to struggle is doing the curves. And today we are going to show you where I pin, right? Because people have been asking, how do I do this? Because I'm pinning, because I don't really feel that I can do this. Which, okay, you know, fair enough, right? That's, I mean, if you don't feel comfortable doing it, yeah, you shouldn't have to, right? So, let's go here. We're going to put this, wait a minute. We want this to go this way. There we go. Okay, there we go. Just lay this down. Put this under. Oops. Put this, I get the rotary cutter out of the way. Lay this flat. There we go. There we go. One thing I will say when you're doing New York Beauties, you end up with some very crazy shaped scraps because they're way different than anything else you're going to find in your sewing room. Okay. Well, like I say, they're perfect crumbs. So what I'm going to do, okay, I'm going to trim this one here just to show you what we're doing. Okay, and oh, heavens, I made a mistake. Okay, you know what? I made a mistake. This is a perfect time to teach. Perfect time to teach. So let me get my stitch ripper out. I put this on the wrong spot. So this becomes a perfect opportunity for me to show you how to do this. Now you take this from the cloth side, right? And you start picking out your stitches. Now, of course, when I do the sharp, the sharp needle, reduce stitch length and everything, I am, I'm always like, okay, we can do this, and we won't make a mistake. But you will, eventually you will make a mistake. So don't be hard on yourself when you do. Everybody does. Now, I know people have said that you just run the ball through this, put the ball in underneath, and go through. And I have never had any success with this. Maybe it's because I'm too crazy with my stitches, but I don't end up with a lot of success with this. Oh, I did it without ripping the thing. Now, there's, like I say, there's people that they put the red ball, the little red ball that you have on your stitch ripper, underneath, and then they move it this way. Which, I mean, in theory, it's supposed to work. And I mean, it does. But inevitably, what it does for me, right here, is I have trimmed off the wrong piece. Oh dear. Okay. No, I got it. No, it's good. It's good. Okay. So what happened here? I made a mistake. Yes, that's a good thing. It's a good thing for me to make mistakes, because then I get to teach you something. Okay, so you got your stitch ripper all off. You're going to trim it in the right spot. It wasn't supposed to be trimmed there. It was supposed to be trimmed here. Okay. And my husband just came in to tell me I'm running long. Well, I have a teaching moment, so that's perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to trim this off just like so. And these both go in our pet bed. And the little ones go in the scraps. So now what I've done is I've corrected where I have sewn, right? So now I'm putting the purple here, right? I'm realigning this. And I don't like that frayed edge because it took a lot of abuse getting that stitch ripped off. So I'm just going to trim off where it was stitch ripped, right? Just so we can say we tried it. Okay. Now, I'm going to go just like this, right over this, and then put a new piece on. There we go. And we've had a chance to teach you guys something too, which is kind of what we're into. That's a good thing. That's a good thing I make mistakes. Okay. Good thing I caught that mistake, because that could have been awful. And everybody go, why does your stuff look like that? But anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just run this off, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's done right, because that's important. I think you need to know what it looks like when it's done right. And okay, there we go. Now, okay, so this, here it is. That's what it is. That's what it does. And now, oops, I'm going to take where I just picked it off, and I gotta find a piece of tape, and then I'm going to find a piece of tape, because I don't know where the tape went. Tape is your friend when you're doing these. You need to have tape close at hand, and mine has disappeared. So this is a good time to stop. Now, I'm going to put another green piece here, but I got to trim first, so here we go. That's our trimming, and now I'm going to finish doing this off camera, right? But you see how easy it is to fix that, right? And like I say, because this is where I sewed, I'm going to put a piece of tape to reinforce it. So that's where we're at. So I will see you in a bit once we get all this sewn together, so I can show you how to do the curves. Okay, we're back, and we have our that ring of paper piece, foundation paper piece things to do. Now, this, I'm going to show you guys how to do what I call porcupine method, because, you know, you need to know how to do this, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pen. Yes, a pen. A pen is going to go on the fabric, and we are going to mark the back. The back. Now you can just tip this up just a slight amount, and you can see exactly where that outer seam is supposed to go, right? Right where that the outer sewn seam here is supposed to go, and that's what I'm marking. So what I'm going to do the same thing with this. Wait a minute, I'm going to do it this way because it's easier to see. This is a little, and I've cheated a bit, you know, I've cheated a bit. I made this a little bit, you know, a little bit bigger than I needed to, because it's better to square up, you know, make too big and square up, or trim up or trim down too, then. And you want to be able to see this mark on both sides, right? That's kind of important. There we go. Yeah. All right. Next up is this one. That's where you start. Oh. And you're writing on the wrong side of the paper. Oh, no, you're writing on the wrong side of the paper. It's right here. Not there. Duh. Okay. There. And this one's already marked, and this one will be marked. Or no, this one should be marked too. Well, we'll see how far we get on this. I might just turn around and say, okay, yeah, this is taking too long. Because I'm allowed to do that. Okay, so we're going to put the two hardest pieces together first. Take off your pins. Take out your pins. You don't need them anymore. Some people prefer this just because it's smaller curves, right? Now you take these pieces away because you don't need them now. Just right here, just like so. And we got some rather dramatic stuff going on here. Now you want to take this piece. I was starting on the wrong side. Why am I always doing that? Okay, so you want to start with this piece right here, about a 1/4 inch down, and this piece right there, about a 1/4 inch down. And it should match up fairly well. You want to take the tiniest bite. We're talking like four threads. That's it. The tiniest little needle bite on that point, right? And now you want to take the other point. Yes, we're pinning everything. Oh my gosh. 1/4 inch down. If you don't know what a 1/4 inch down is, get some 1/4 inch washi tape and put it on your thumbnail, and you've got a ruler constantly with you. And again, the tiniest little bite, we're talking like 4 or 5 threads, that's it. Right? Because you want to be sewing right on that line. Now, from here, you're going to match up those pins. Oops. Exactly. And you're going to put a little piece, a little divot right there, and match it up again, and a little divot right there. So basically you've got this thing marked a few times. And again, you want to do it on the other side, right? So you have a little divot without stretching, don't pull. Divot right there, and then, oops, I moved it. Oh no. I moved it, but my divots are good. And another divot right there. So that gives you your half and your 1/4. So now you want to pin them next, right? And you want to go a 1/4 inch down from that divot into that divot, the 1/4 inch down, and again take the teeniest, daintiest little bite of fabric that you can. And a 1/4 inch down on your divot without pulling, and a 1/4 inch down again without pulling. There we go. There. Just nice and neat. Okay. Yeah, washi tape. Another thing that quilters from ages ago, what they would do is they would take a pencil and mark a 1/4 inch line on their thumb, right? And they do it with pen or, you know, whatever. And now we have clear nail polish, so we can have that 1/4 inch there all the time. Now, some people would go in now in between. That's because this is the smallest and the hardest, that might not be a bad idea. So you just maneuver this 1/4 inch down, the daintiest little, oops, I lost it. The daintiest little pivot. See how, like, we're talking like you don't go far without, you know, arranging and sewing, right? Or sewing it down. And some people would even go more than this, but we're gonna live life on the wild side today because we can. Because we can. And I had a couple people, please show us how to do it with pins. Oh my god! And this is how you do it. This is exactly how you do it. Now. The larger the curve, you know, if you really want to do, oops, there. Okay, so I've probably got enough pins in here now. Can everybody see all the pins that are in there? I don't know, maybe put it up against the white, maybe not. Okay, there's a lot of pins there, and you want your box of pins close at hand so you can take the pins out. Now, your 1/4 inch is got to be right on the money. And as you come up to the pin, just hand turn your machine so you don't all of a sudden go, oh no, I ran over into a pin, right? So you want to just take it slow. It's not a race, especially this first one, right? There. Okay. There we go. And just there. You know, when you're doing these, I increase my stitches and I have a sharp needle, especially when I'm doing a lot of New York Beauties or some foundation paper piece project. I always make sure I've got my needle stitches right up, you know, to 25 to 30 stitches an inch. And that's what we can set these. I think it's 1 or 1.5 on the modern machines. I don't know, really. We'll have to buy a modern machine one day and figure that out. But, okay, now I cheated on the edge. So we do have a bit of extra room to play with. And get another leader ender. Yeah, I know. You're tired of hearing leader ender already, right? I'm identifying the leader enders because some people are getting confused, right? So now you press that away from the curve, so you're going this way. So now this, gently finger press this, you know, so that it lies just perfectly flat. Just like that. So now I'm going to show you how to do this one. And again, it's all marked already, so let's get this baby unpinned. Get all the pins out that we don't need. And we've got the divot on this side already, if we haven't lost it. No, we have not lost it. It's still there, kind of. Okay, we still got the divot. There we go. Alright, we'll get these out. Now, I should have picked a really wild orange. You know, like something really bold printed or whatever, but I mean, it is what it is. Okay, so we start at one end and we pin a 1/4 inch down, 1/4 inch down, and a 1/4 inch down from our marks, and that gives us our start. And we just, the daintiest little pin. Now we can use the same number of pins on this, right? I mean, that works too, you know. 1/4 inch. Where did this one go? This one was right here. Oops, I need a 1/4 inch down. There we go. There. Okay. Now, oops, come on. You know, you're supposed to be square. There we go. There we go. Daintiest little pit. There. And now, okay, so now we've got to line up these two pins. Line them up the best you can, and now you're going to make your halfway mark and your 1/4 mark. So here's your halfway, and you just make a little divot there with your finger. Right, there's halfway, and there is a 1/4. Now you're taking that half divot to right where your pins are, right? So as long as they always go in the same spot, it's not a problem. Okay, now we're going to take this divot, the center divot, 1/4 inch down to the center divot. Oops, where did the center divot go? I lost the center divot. Okay. Oh no, I didn't. It's there. It's there. If I pressed it in with an iron, right, it would have been there. But there we go. And the tiniest, daintiest little thing ever. Like I say, don't take more than a bite of like 4 strings or 4 pieces of thread, because that will distort your work, right? You want tiny little divots, and that way it gives you a nice rounded shape, and you're not struggling now, right? I mean, some people don't like doing curves because I struggle. Well, you know, you can pin them, and you know, you can pin them in place. It's allowed. It's allowed. There's no rule says you can't pin them in place. Okay, this I just missed the. No, I didn't. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Okay, pin it again. There we go. Over a little bit. There we go. And now you can put the pins in the middle, in between these points, but I'm not going to because I'm ready to go. Okay, so, all right, now. wow, what is wrong here? Why is it not? Okay, there. Okay. Okay. And yeah, you might have to do a little adjusting every once in a while. I don't worry about which one is going where. When you adjust, however, make sure your needle is down. Oh my goodness. Make sure you'll save yourself an hour picking out fabric. Picking stitches out of fabric. If you adjust with your needle down. There we go. Now, when you're adjusting, don't pull. Don't pull. That could be bad. There we go. And one. Okay, there we go. And we're there, right there. Nice and neat. Nice, neat, easy little curve. There we go. And another leader ender. These leader enders are every color under the sun in a low volume. So that's why. Okay, I just want to snip that. That would have been bad. So this one now will push this way as well, right? So it just lies flatter when it's pushed out this way. Okay, so now there we go. Nice flat. I've got one itty bitty pucker that I'm taking, just took out with my fingernail, just by like that. So now let's get to this one. Okay, where did my oh yeah, my pen. I gotta get my pen. Oh no, I don't have to get a pen. Okay, this one is going to be a little tougher, and I've got 2 lines marked on here. One where the there we go. So now this is so much easier to do when you have the paper on it, is just not to do it with all those pins. You do the starting pin. Basically, you're using one pin to get it lined up so that you can go around here and pin to the other side, right? Now, yes, you can do this. You can don't put your stay stitching in if you peel your paper off, because your stay stitching will not allow it to move. So I mean, that's why I don't like doing New York Beauties, but this is the way I would do it. Okay, so we follow it in, pull our stitch out, get rid of this little block here behind because it might annoy. It might annoy me while I'm doing this. Oh yeah, I spend my life doing leader and enders. Okay. And just a little bit at a time. Now some of these, sometimes the block 5, where you've got 2 foundation paper piece objects in it the one time, that one definitely do the porcupine method. Like, you know, really like get a lot of pins in there to mark where you're going and what you're doing, because that'll make your piecing much easier. There we go. Oh, okay. came in to tell me it's taking too long. That's like with the filming. I know that. Okay, there we go. Nice little leader ender now to put onto that. And there. Okay, now this one's forcing the fabric to go this way because of the paper. But it will lie flat. I'm very impressed with that. Okay, so let's get this sewn on. This one now gets sewn on just like this, and I think we're pretty much matched up on either end. Yes, we are. So we just pull the pins out, and we're just going to wing it. We're just going to wing it, because this is taking a little bit too long. The video is taking a little bit too long for filming, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. So let's get this out of the way. There. Now, get that orange piece off, and now we'll just start sewing this on, just like that. I think what I did is I did the same amount on both sides. So, okay, so let's just go. Let's just go for it. And I've got lots of overage, like on the straighted grain, on the outside piece here, this cloth. Good. I figured that would be good. Here. Yeah, our camera takes only so long, and then once it's past that, it takes the film off, right? So it's like, it turns the camera off, and I'm sewing and I'm talking to nobody. But that's okay. I got stuck. Why did it get stuck? There we go. It's stuck on a bump. These things get bumpy. These foundation paper piece things, and all of a sudden the feed dogs are going like, hey, wait a minute, I can't get over that. Yes, you can. You can try. It's like Thomas the Train. You can do it. There. Okay. Do this a little bit. There we go. Nice. Alright. Yes, we're a little off, but we've had some cheating room. So that's good. We're okay with that because we had some cheat room. If I had to do these with precise size pieces and stuff like that, I think what I would do is I would thread baste first. So now this one's going to fall away, right? Just like that. And I'm going to give this a good press. And see, that's what this looks like from the back. Right? So the pieces, just the curves by themselves, will go this way. This is maybe having issues because it's being pushed this way because of the paper, but once the paper's off, it'll probably go that way. But it might not because of all the seams, right? So, but this is where we're at. So let me get this all ironed up and squared up to 12.5 inch unfinished, and we'll get to our ta-da moment. Okay, here is our in a New York Beauty minute, block 4, and this one is lots of fun. And I put the other ones here so you would have a reference about what color story we were playing here. It's all orange, green, and purples, and I've now introduced other little speckles of pinks and oranges and yellows in with this purple. It's not very prevalent, but I do have some fabric left, so it might make another appearance. So this is going to be kind of a fun little thing. I do hope you're sewing along. What I'm going to do is I got 12 blocks, and I've got now 8 more to go. So I'm going to make a baby quilt out of all of this and give it for a charity quilt. But anyways, I do hope you're sewing along with me and life is treating you grand and your 1/4 inch is right on the money. So you guys take care and stay well until we see each other again. Okay, bye! My husband and I would like to thank you for all of your support and watching our videos and sharing and liking. It has just been, you've put us on such an amazing journey and we are having so much fun. I hope everything is going so well in your life and you know your 1/4 inch is perfect, everything is working out for you. And we're just so happy to be part of your lives and you having, like I say, you're watching us. I was just so thrilled that you're doing that. So I want to say goodbye and I want to thank you with all my heart. Okay? Take care. Bye.